So let's get started. Last night was the Senior Awards. Actually, it was May 31st, this Wednesday. So the Senior Awards, students attending the Senior Awards were honor roll students with a GPA of more than 4.0 for their entire high school career, which is just a great achievement to begin with. But also at the Senior Awards, many scholarships were given out. These were scholarships that the graduating seniors applied to through PROF, Pine-Richland Opportunities Fund. We want to give a big thanks to Pine-Richland Opportunities Fund for giving so many scholarships to Pine-Richland graduating seniors. And congratulations to all the seniors who won scholarships for their future colleges. And then at the Senior Awards, Department Awards were given out. Now, Department Awards are given to students who excel above all the rest of the students in their respective departments. These awards include social studies, math, or PRTV. So congratulations to all the students who won department awards. And at the Senior Awards, I'd like to recognize some students who are entering the military and serving our country. So these students include Christian Cromer entering the United States Navy, Hector Nyanzagira entering the United States Army, Ryan Duran entering the United States Army Military Academy, and Hyung Young Kim entering the United States Navy Military Academy. Thank you all so much for your service, and congratulations to you. And now I'd also like to talk about students who received a special recognition for their perfect scores on ACT and SAT tests. So these include Noah Adams with a perfect score on ACT reading, Giuliano Avolio on SAT math, Andrew Gaffey on ACT reading, Amanda Labuto on ACT math 2, Casey Mann on ACT science, Trevor Russell on SAT math 2, SAT physics, and SAT US history, Sydney Scullion on ATC science, and Allison Starsenik on SAT US history, ACT reading, and ACT English. This is a high honor on an almost impossible task, so congratulations to all those students.
Let's talk about another tough task. It's the top 10% of their graduating class. These students had a GPA in the top 10% of the entire senior class. Now let's take a look at those seniors that made such a great achievement. You congratulate them again on such a great achievement. They definitely have some bright future. Let's throw it over to the football field now. As they're getting ready to make their final preparations for the 2017 commencement ceremony. All the parents are filing in on the near side bleachers. Those seats on the field are empty now, but the class of 2017 will be filling them shortly here.
They're on their way from the school to the stadium at this moment, and I'm sure they're anxious to get the ceremony started, anxious to start the next chapter of their lives after high school. And congratulations to all the seniors taking part in the ceremony today. All right, so now we're going to talk about the top 3 in the graduating class. So we showed you the top 10%. But these students are the top 3 students with the 3 highest GPAs in the entire graduating class. So let's take a look at these students now. Tertiary, Amanda Labuda. Salutatorian, Kendall Pomerlow. And the valedictorian, Joseph Mullen. Congratulations to these 3 students for their incredible academic success. And may they have much success in the rest of their lives too. Now we're gonna talk about some other achievements of the graduating class. This graduating class wasn't just outstanding with their stellar GPAs, but they made some great strides with helping the community, with sports teams, with awards in their respective fields. So we're gonna talk about some great achievements for this class.
No doubt there's excellence on the athletic field or basketball court. Boys basketball team made the WPIAL championship for the 2nd straight year. They defeated Butler in that game, 72-61. The game was held at the Peterson Event Center on the University of Pittsburgh campus. Also, the girls lacrosse team just last week defeated Fox Chapel. That game was held at Robert Morris University. And just last night, the boys baseball team was at Wild Things Park, and they defeated NA with a final score of 3-2.
Well, that concludes our pre-graduation show. Congratulations for all the achievements of the graduating class. May you have a successful future. This has been Genevieve Cohen.
I'm Brian Kerp. Enjoy the 2017 commencement ceremony.
evening. Good evening, family and friends. I would like to welcome you to the graduation exercises for the class of 2017. As our seniors remain standing, I invite our senior choir members to step forward. To our guests, please rise, and gentlemen, please remove your hats for the presentation of the colors by the Pine-Richland Air Force Junior ROTC Color Guard, followed by the singing of the national anthem by our senior choir members at Pine-Richland. Please join us at this time in singing the national anthem, and I ask that you remain standing for the singing of our alma mater.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Through the gracious halls of learning march thy students, ever yearning to the lamps of wisdom turn. Pine-Richland, high o hail! Sing the chorus loudly, lift the banner proudly. Green and white, you'll always light our paths and goals so brightly. On we march for alma mater, on we march, each son and daughter, singing loud our praises to Pine-Richland, high o hail!
Thank you to members of our senior choir and our color guard. Please be seated. Students as well. Please join me in thanking the members of our band for this evening's prelude and processional. Before introducing our first student speaker this evening, two announcements. I would like to recognize senior Stephanie Stevens. She was to have received an award during our Scholastic Awards ceremony on Wednesday evening, and we apologize that we did not call her to the stage at that time. Well done, Stephanie. I would also like to take a moment and ask that you join me in congratulating Pine-Richland's newest WPIAL champions, our baseball team, defeating North Allegheny last night. I now invite Student Government Executive Vice President Hunter Baxter to the podium. He will be providing our welcome this evening.
Welcome, class of 2017. Jeez. As incoming kindergartners in 2004, we couldn't begin to even envision this day, and yet here it is before us. Each of us has dealt with personal struggles, as well as wonderful experiences in this 13-year journey. We all have our own interests, whether they are academic, athletic, different friend groups, or what we have chosen to do next in life. But we all share one common bond, and that is being part of the class of 2017. As we complete the final step of our journey as Pine-Richland students, I'd like to thank our administrators, school board, counselors, teachers, and staff for making this a district we can all be proud of, and for preparing us to be successful adults as we move on to the next stage of our lives. I would also like to recognize all of our friends, families, and significant others for coming to recognize the class of 2017's graduation. These people before you gave up time and money for you to be in activities, drove you places, supported you, and loved you throughout all of your struggles in school and in growing up. And let us not forget those behind the scenes, such as custodians, cafeteria workers, bus drivers, and secretaries. Without them, not all of us would have gotten here as easily as we did today. In recognition of all these influential people, I would like to have our class stand and face the crowd and give all of our supporters a big round of applause. I ask that you travel with me now as we look back over some of our fads and fashions that shaped our school journey. In elementary school, we had Crocs, High School Musical, American Idol, Super Smash Bros., which I guess we still have. And for those of you out there who went to Hants, there was my favorite game of Scoops. In Eden Hall, there were dances at the community center that were super cool until 8th grade. Certainly none of us forgot about those silly bands. Am I right? I'm still wearing mine. There were Uggs, and if you were lucky, you got your first cell phone. The biggest decision was picking between Team Edward and Team Jacob. Justin Bieber was every boy's worst nightmare and every girl's crush. We shook it like a Polaroid picture, and we were the first class to go all 3 years in the school with waterfalls under the stairwell. In middle school, the awkward years, we played airsoft, watched The Walking Dead, The Hunger Games, had duck lips, and took selfies. Instagram became big, and emojis came out. In high school, we got Snapchat and Twitter, and we experienced our first real dance. We went thrift shopping, we learned to drive, Star Wars and Pokemon returned, and 2 years ago, we learned there was only one game, Clash Royale. Taylor Swift and Lady Gaga blew up the radio, and we all managed to somehow survive Keystones, SATs, ACTs, AP exams, and prom. I also think we had the best student sections this year. But that being said, we probably needed to keep it under better control. Because of us, Mrs. Burns has a whole house full of funfetti, except this one. Sorry, I'll just leave this right here for you. We've learned many things here at PRU, including punctuality. For example, in the back parking lot. I've summed this up in a fairly simple math equation, and for those juniors here today, listen up. Mrs. White plus 719 equals walking around the school to the front office to get a tardy pass. Trust me, it happens more than you think. We're ready to make our mark and change the world. This is the moment we've been waiting for, and we are ready to do this. As I conclude my final speech to the class of 2017, I would like to express my gratitude to my best friends, Brendan Scheller and Hassan Akhtar, for always being there when I needed them the most. But before I conclude, I would like to thank my family for everything they have done for me my entire life. My parents and my sister Marin have adapted their whole lives around me, so I had the opportunities to reach my goals. We've had our disagreements and fights along the journey over your advice to me, and you've always said one day I would thank you. Well, today is the day where I can say in front of everyone, thank you, and I will miss you more than you can ever know. I will stick with what you have taught me and never let you down. I love you all. I again want to wish each and every one of you a warm welcome to the 2017 graduation ceremony and be the first to offer my congratulations to the class of 2017 on a job well done. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hunter. At this time, I would like to welcome the tertiary for the class of 2017, Miss Amanda Labuda. Amanda will be attending New York University in the fall, majoring in dance and computer science.
Apprivoise-moi, tame me. The fox said to the petit prince in hopes of finding someone who's willing to care for him, who is willing to be his friend. For humans, we go through life asking others to connect with ourselves. For the only way to understand something or someone is to connect with them, to create a bond between two souls, a bond that not only brings joy to both of the people's lives, but also shapes each person's identity. For it is impossible to find yourself in the world when you are alone. It is impossible to live a full life without making connections. But how do you know when you have truly connected with someone? When your presence is significant among others? When you can relate to a person's pain or suffering? Or is it when you truly can't see your life without your closest friends and family surrounding you? It is society's resistance to reach this point of full understanding that is hurting our world. We are closed-minded, refusing to give attention to differing opinions and beliefs. We prevent unwanted actions, and through our lack of understanding, cripple our surroundings. However, I believe that our generation, more specifically our senior class, can change this. For we have one genuine quality that many others lack: openness. Over the past 4 years, I have seen our classes desire to connect and to help understand each other through our actions and behaviors. We can hold a conversation through new ideas and connect with every new pair of eyes. We push each other to help others and provide each other with safety during times of turmoil. Through this, we have not only created unbreakable friendships, but also an understanding that will help re-stimulate tolerance in this world. Whether it's an incredible friendship through faith, the presence of a peer in a buddy's life, a mother constantly caring about her daughter's safety, or a strengthened bond between a brother and sister as they endure the impossible. The connections that we have made give hope to society through love. Everybody needs to feel loved and needs to know that you're not alone. You are not alone as you begin the next chapter in your life. You have connections with so many friends, teachers, and family members that show their compassion and hopes for your success. You have the power to help the world through simple acts of kindness. Through openness, as you start your new beginning, whether it is your first day of college or your first day with an open nest, tell the world, apprivoise-moi, connect with me. Be eager to start the rest of your life with an open heart. Like the fox and the petite prince, try to understand others, for it never fails to foster love. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. Our next speaker this evening is the 2017 salutatorian. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Kendall Pomerleau to the podium. Kendall will attend Washington University in St. Louis and will be majoring in computer science and dance.
I created my Me Box when I was 5 years old. It has become an amalgamation of my past, pictures from when I was little, ticket stubs from ballets and musicals, paper plate awards, notes from friends, and other little odds and ends. I took it off the top shelf of my closet on Monday, where it has sat collecting memories for so long. I was getting nostalgic about the end of high school, such an integral part of our lives, so I looked through the box, reminiscing, smiling, and tearing up over each and every knick-knack. But after taking everything out and parsing through it, I realized something. These things that I have collected do not define who I am. Objects are not memories, because memories are stored within us. They develop from experiences, not materials. My first pair of ballet shoes is in my box, but it is impossible to capture the experience of taking my first ballet class, my hair in a messy bun, probably crying about leaving my mom. The wristbands from when I went to Atlantis are in my box, but they cannot encompass the experience I had there, the last time my family was together, healthy, and happy. My name tag from Children's Hospital is in the box, but it does not describe the incredible, invaluable time I spent with my brother during the last year of his life. When Kyle stood here 3 years ago, he spoke about our limited shelf lives and being who we are. He has inspired me today to make my own mark on the world, and I think that the only way to truly do this, the only way we all can make a difference and stay true to ourselves in the time that we have, is to take advantage of every opportunity that arises. As we go off to the world beyond high school, we must face adversity. We must laugh in the face of danger. We must seize the chances that present themselves. And although the souvenirs, the trinkets that we take with us are precious reminders of the past, our experiences and what we learn from them are what drive our futures. So, class of 2017, as we stand here today on the verge of tomorrow, we should reflect upon the times we have had together. Classes, lip dubs, musicals, football games, now graduation, and consider how we can positively impact the world around us as we make new memories. We are not who we were our first day of freshman year, and we are not who we will be in the years to come. So we must not let a moment pass without letting it soak in. While I will take my Me Box with me, and while the things we take from our past will stay with us forever, we cannot be restricted by what has happened. Instead, we must focus on what we can make happen by experiencing and making the most of every second of every day. Congratulations and best of luck to the class of 2017.
Thank you, Kendall. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the class of 2017 Vice President, Ms. Caitlin Durundo. She is going to be sharing a special presentation to the class of 2029.
Good evening. As we are here to celebrate the completion of our education and moving forward, a new class of students will enter Pine-Richland in the fall. The class of 2005 was the graduating class when we were about to start our education in first grade at Hants, Wexford, or Richland Elementaries. Many things that changed our lives during the same year happened. Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans, MySpace and Facebook were competitors, and Webkins were all the rage. Many of these things that seem recent in comparison to all of history feel like they were forever ago for us. Without the older events that we would not be where we are today without our experiences here at PR and each and every person's future would be different. It was scary to think about high school and what it would be like. When we were younger, the most important decision we had to make was what to eat during lunch. Now it is what we will do with our futures. Now we are able to reflect and see how much we have changed with the help of many along the way. This change happened over the course of the past 12 years, where we spent the majority of our time in these schools. The start of our education played an important role, and we are lucky enough to help others with theirs. We are very honored to have 3 kindergarteners, students of the class of 2029, here to accept checks for each of the elementary school's libraries. Without further ado, please welcome Kaya Ferdeber from Hants, Charles Arbuckle from Wexford, and Garrett Rankin from Richland. Here you go, bud. You guys want to say anything? Want to say something?
Thank you from Hants Elementary. Congratulations, seniors, and good luck. Go Rams.
Good job. Here, I'll help you down. Hold on to it. You want to help out, bud?
Thank you from Richland Elementary.
Thanks, bud. Let me hold it.
Hello, on behalf of the class of 2029 at Wexford Elementary. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2017.
Thank you, bud. And thank you so much for them for coming in tonight. Thanks, Mrs. Bowman. I'll wait here. There you go.
Thank you to Caitlin and the class of 2017 for paying it forward and for demonstrating that Pine-Richland High School pride and support extends to students of today and students of tomorrow. At this time, please help me in welcoming our next student speaker. This student will be attending the University of Notre Dame as a pre-med major. Mr. Joseph Mullen, the valedictorian for the class of 2017.
Thank you, Mrs. Bowman. Faculty, administrators, parents, and most importantly, my fellow graduates, it is truly an honor to get to speak with you. When I first heard that I was going to have this chance to speak, to be quite honest, I wasn't sure what to share with such a large and diverse audience. Lots of people were quick to offer advice. Make it funny, make me cry, and even my crazy uncle and namesake, Uncle Joe, said, "Give him the heat." I love you, Uncle. For me, the past few days have been filled with emotion. The joy of graduation, the sadness of knowing we are moving on from a place many of us have called home for the past 4 years. And of course, there's also the fear of not having everything prepared for a speech in front of hundreds of people. I began thinking a lot about what led me to this day. From middle school on, people said something about building a resume and gave advice on how to get into a good college. As I set about taking the most rigorous schedule possible, I discovered incredible teachers, counselors, and most importantly, friends. I learned so much content from my teachers, but it is their positive attitude and passion for their profession that I will remember most as I move forward in life. While taking my classes, I also learned the value of collaborating with others on the dreaded group projects. As a freshman, my older brother James provided some advice. Quote, always try to get into a group with at least one girl. In general, they care more about their grades. Of course, he was kidding, I think. In all seriousness, I was so lucky to work side by side with many truly gifted students. Outside of the classroom, our classes excelled. Our school has produced some amazingly talented individuals in many areas, particularly the arts and athletics. The future is also bright. My personal favorite is a rising senior and football basketball star, my friend and neighbor, Phil, who will be attending an okay football program as a quarterback. I am selfishly hoping for good things to come. Seriously though, dedicating time to extracurriculars is tricky. Finding the right balance and managing your time can be stressful. We owe so much to our coaches, sponsors, and mentors, who are oftentimes also our teachers, and to our parents, who supported us throughout our practices and games. I used to drive my mom crazy, making her wait while I finished running, stretching, icing, and maybe, let's just call it team building in the locker room with my friends. My parents would probably call it BSing. I tried many things, but finally found my passion as a freshman. While most kids dreaded running during any team practice, as if it were punishment, I looked forward to it. I loved the running just a little too much. I would like to take a moment to apologize to any of my former teammates who were subjected to my joy of running prior to my discovery of cross country and track. Sorry, guys. I'm so grateful for all the extracurricular activities I was able to enjoy at Pine-Richland. I've made lifelong friends over the years that have taught me so much. Finally, to complete our college resume, we must discuss service. The students at Pine-Richland are committed to so many causes and work tirelessly to support them. I had the honor to be involved in Key Club, NHS, and student government, so I saw firsthand the many hours of service our student body completed. This year's mini-thon is an outstanding example of what we are capable of accomplishing. For this event to be successful, it takes dedicated and passionate leaders like Paige and Rachel, plus a large group of involved students and staff members to volunteer as chaperones. Of course, none of it could happen without a patient administration. We really did push poor Mrs. Bowman to her limits. Sorry, Mrs. Bowman, but I hope you're resting up for next year's mini-thon. Nonetheless, it was tremendously rewarding to see such a wide range of students from every class come out to support this event. By the end of the dance, we raised more than $18,000 to support childhood cancer research and care. Our class should be very proud to have supported such an important cause. While working hard to create this college resume, I learned a great deal, but in particular, the relationships with fellow students, teachers, counselors, and administrators were by far the most valuable part of my experience. If I just wanted facts or skills, I could have read books or taken online courses, but it was the daily interactions with these people that energized me. The support we have received along the way has been immeasurable. I guess it really does take a village. For me, growing up in Carrington Woods has been a gift, as family and friends have encouraged and inspired me throughout my life. My family, especially my mom and dad, have always supported me in all my academic and athletic endeavors, but they continue to remind me that being a good person is more important than any accolades I could ever receive. You have shaped me into the man I am today, and for that, I am so grateful. And by the way, if I never said it, thanks for never abandoning me, Mom. I practice. Today is a day of reflection on what we have already accomplished, and a day of celebration for all that the future holds. Pine-Richland is such a special place, and it is at times like this that we must step back to appreciate all we have. As the media mogul Oprah Winfrey said, be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough. Thank you, everyone, and congratulations, class of 2017. We made it. Roll Rams.
Thank you, Joe. Our class president, Ms. Ellis Fritz, will now share a few thoughts and introduce the faculty speaker that's been selected by the senior class.
This is the oldest story in the book. You're 5 years old, walking up to the bus stop for your first day of school ever. And before you know it, you're 17, starting your senior year in high school. The time you thought you had to spend with your friends and family slowly grows smaller and smaller, until today's start turning into yesterdays. And now you are here, sitting on this field, about to collect a piece of paper that is a ticket to the rest of your life. So what I tell you, class of 2017, is to let your imagination run wild. You have the power to decide the rest of your life. So use it, and use it wisely. Mark Twain once said, "The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why." So take the time to figure out what you love and what you are good at. Do not rush yourself, because all good things come to those who wait. Take chances and never hold back. Tell that person you love them and follow through with the promises you make to yourself. I like to think that if you look close enough and believe hard enough, there's a little bit of magic in this world. And if you can find it, grab on and never, ever let go. In the beginning of my speech, I mentioned how we go from kindergarten to senior year in a blink of an eye. But what I did not mention were the people that have gotten us to this point. More specifically, the teachers that have gotten us here. This year, my peers have elected a teacher to speak that unfortunately I have not had for class. But after talking with my classmates and this teacher himself, I clearly can see why he was chosen to speak tonight. I was told that this teacher is a humble, genuine person whose positive mood can instantly brighten anyone's day. That he makes you feel like you are more than just a number or another face that passes through the high school doors. And when I asked him why he chose to be a teacher, he said, "I wanted to help others. I wanted to give back what was given to me and give to others that needed help." I also asked some classmates about any memories or if they had something that stuck with them from this teacher. One student said that he would always tell us to do things for you, do something that makes you happy. And another student mentioned how this teacher believes his job is much more than just teaching astronomy. It's about reaching out and touching the lives of his students. This teacher is known for his end-of-the-year speech to his seniors, where kids that may not even have him in class go to his room just to listen and take in what he has to say. And if you knew how hard it was to get seniors to go to class on the last day of school, you'd understand just how powerful his speech must be. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce Mr. Andrew Duggar, the elected teacher speaker from the class of 2017.
I was not expecting that. That was great. Thank you so much. Thank you to the district administration, Dr. Miller, Dr. Pasquinelli, as well as Mrs. Bowman, Mrs. Burns, and Mr. Silbaugh for your hard work at the high school this year. And just what a great year. It's extremely humbling. You can tell I'm shaking a little bit because that introduction was special. So thank you. It's a great honor to be able to speak to the class of 2017 this year, so thank you. So when thinking what to write, I usually do pretty well with it, and I can kind of just talk through things, but I used some help from my wife, and she helped me the past 2 nights, and I'm so appreciative of that and lucky to have her in my life, so thank you so much, and I love you. I know she's out there somewhere with my son and my mother. You need people like that in your life. You just got to have people to support you, and we'll talk about that here in a moment. And with that in mind, just a quick little thing here. Where's homeroom 008, the planetarium? Stand up. Stand up. Yes. Thank you guys for standing up. It's been a great, of course, they'll stand up, trust me. It's been a great 4 years with them, with Mr. McCurdy and myself taking care of those guys, and just a wonderful year, and again, many, many accomplishments. So here we go. Thank you for having me here again. I want to keep this as brief as possible, and I did shorten this quite a bit, but I just want to take a moment to reflect with you guys. Think back, if you will, like when everything started, back to kindergarten and now the whole way up through the 12th grade, and a lot has happened. Many academic achievements, athletic accomplishments, and so much has happened from elementary school to the middle school to the high school, whatever it may be, and here you are now. But things are really just getting started. So moving forward, and I discuss this with my classes, things are going to be a little bit different. Some of you might be taking some time off, a gap year, something along those lines. Some of you may start working, and that's great. Some of you may enlist in the military, and those of you that are, thank you. Please give them a round of applause. And some of you are heading off to college. So anything that's different that you're about to face can be quite exciting, but it can also be scary, and you need to understand that that is okay and completely normal. There are some unknowns out there, but fear of those unknown things can lead to great things if you trust what you've learned thus far. Times are going to be difficult, and challenges may arise out of nowhere, but those troubling times, they're going to pass, and they're going to make you stronger, and they'll lead to the joys and triumphs of the next day. One of my favorite little quotes, don't be afraid, because it's in the darkest skies that we see the brightest stars. So guys, life sometimes isn't that easy, but I'm going to tell you that you can do it. You can get through anything with the right mindset, the right tools, the right people surrounding you. So I'm going to give you just a final few tips on that. Every day that you wake up, you have a choice as to how you're going to handle what's thrown your way. And I'm going to tell you to choose to be positive. Surround yourself with the people devoted to make you better. Give of yourself to others, because happiness doesn't come from what you get, but from what you give. And speaking of giving, around you tonight are thousands of people who are here for you. Your families, your friends, those who have given their lives to help and support you. So, as one of the speakers did earlier, I'm going to do the same thing. I want you to turn, face your families, find your parents up there, say thank you, and give them a round of applause, please. The people here to congratulate you and honor you have dedicated their lives to raising you, helping you, guiding you, and they're thrilled to see you on to this point, and they want to help you climb even further. Your parents, your relatives, your close friends that are up in the stands tonight, they love you unconditionally. And you may not get that just yet, but I hope that someday you will. Because I know that, I mentioned this the last time I spoke a couple years ago. The older I get and the more I see my son grow up right in front of my eyes, like, you just get it. It's unconditional love, and you just want to see you be happy. And when those close to you see something goes wrong, or that you need help, or whatever it may be, they're going to be there. Trust those loved ones. Trust your parents. Listen to them. Though you may disagree with them, it won't be long before you're acting just like them. So, when you leave here tonight, I charge you with this. I ask you to do this, please. Go give them a hug. Tell them how much that they mean to you, because I know how much you mean to them. It's time for you to return that favor as well. Keep your chins up when the times are tough. Work hard and never stop learning. Congratulations, class of 2017.
Thank you, Mr. Duggar. And at this time, I ask you to join me in welcoming Pine-Richland School Board President, Dr. Jeffrey Banyas, to the podium.
It's quite humbling to follow all of these phenomenal speakers, particularly Mr. Duggar, but certainly our students. On behalf of the Board of Directors at Pine-Richland High School and Pine-Richland School District and the community that we serve, I congratulate you all, class of 2017. And I want to sort of begin a virtual early celebration with you, so engage me a little thought experiment. I want you all to visualize a very large, multi-tiered cake. A huge cake, if you will. A cake that is so huge that its base tier is large enough to accommodate everybody in the stands and everybody watching on TV and everybody in the townships of Pine and Richland that pay the taxes to support this district. Because without all of you, the entire cake collapses on itself. So never forget your importance. In our next tier, we have the people that keep the lights on, the trains running, and the framework stable. These are the people that Hunter Baxter alluded to earlier. Our cafeteria workers, our custodians, our administrators, secretaries, security, maintenance, personnel, finance people, the people that keep everything in place so that we can support our penultimate tier, our highly valued teachers, professionals, paraprofessionals, coaches, counselors, sponsors, all the people that Joseph Mullen alluded to earlier in his great speech. They are the ones who most directly dispense the mission of educating and nurturing our students, which of course is the top tier of the cake. You're the reason we're here. Make no mistake, teachers can teach, coaches can coach, administrators can administrate. But at the end of the day, you have all performed. Without your performance, all of this is for naught. I've been on the board for 7.5 years. We meet twice a month. And I never grow tired of hearing Rachel Hathorn rattle off her virtual roll call of accomplishments of all of our students. Your achievements in academics, athletics, the arts, vocational schools, club sponsors, extracurricular activities, and maybe most important of all, the type of men and women that you become when you leave here, are what put Pine-Richland on the map. We consistently rate as one of the most highly desirable districts, and it has a great deal to do because of you. And how do I know this? I'll tell you how I know this. My daughter does a lot of research. She's expecting a child in September. She and her husband could choose to live anywhere in Western Pennsylvania, and they're building a house here because they understand the characters and the values baked into the batter of this community and this cake with which we celebrate. I can think of no greater gift that you've all given to me by bringing my daughter and my grandson to be to this district. From the bottom of my heart, I thank all of you in my imaginary confection. And congratulations again, class of 2017.
At this time, join me in welcoming the Superintendent of Pine-Richland School District, Dr. Brian Miller.
Good evening. It is an honor and privilege to serve as the Superintendent of Schools at Pine-Richland and participate in tonight's ceremony. Congratulations to each senior in the class of 2017 and to parents, grandparents, families, and friends for joining us tonight. Earlier in the week, I had the opportunity to speak briefly with seniors and share with them two of my favorite days as an educator. The first is the first day of school. It's incredible to feel the excitement and energy that connects to a fresh start. And I often think about our kindergarten students, the first day for them. Kindergarten students that join us in the fall will be the class of 2030. Remarkable. But the second day is commencement, a true celebration and a beginning. Each graduate in the class of 2017 is unique. Each graduate has a different story, a different background, a different perspective. We have graduates who have spent every moment of their formal education here at Pine-Richland. And we also have students who moved into Pine-Richland for their senior year and are a part of this class. It's that contrast, I think, that is symbolic of Pine-Richland. We have a long history and deep roots, also combined with periods of rapid growth. Even our perspective is new tonight. For those in the stands, as you look over the field, you see what was farmland and trees, getting ready for a new residential neighborhood. But on the other side, and I'd like you to join me in a moment as I talk about one family, one of our seniors tonight, Connor Krosky, and his brother, 2014 graduate Colton, are the third generation to graduate from Pine-Richland. Grandfather in 1958, grandmother in 1962, mother in 1979, father in 1982. This is the blend of history and new growth that describes Pine-Richland. That's just one family. Let's give them a round of applause. Members of the class of 2017 will quickly spread far and wide, both in our country and even the world. You have heard and will continue to hear different thoughts and words of advice. You will join new communities. Have confidence that you are well prepared. The Pine-Richland High School diploma means a lot because of those that have come before you. And as we heard tonight, much evidence that you have added to that history, and because of you, that diploma will continue to hold meaning. And our reason for being here tonight, with honor and privilege as the superintendent of schools, I certify that the members of the Pine-Richland class of 2017 presented here this evening have met the requirements for earning a high school diploma as established by the Pine-Richland School Board and the Pennsylvania Department of Education. Congratulations to all.
At this time, I ask our class marshals to please prepare the seniors to receive diplomas. Our counselors, Dr. Miller and Dr. Banyas, please step forward as well. Students in the first rows, please stand. Rita and Noah, you're on. Go ahead.
Noah Henry Adams.
Rita Luxasi.
Hassan A. Akhtar.
Benjamin Jeffrey Lambert.
Abby Marie Altman.
Alexander J. Lamondola.
Anthony Michael Amory.
Jenna Catherine Lang.
Grace Margaret Antall.
Jacqueline Rose Langer.
Nicholas Alexander Arkaya.
Daniel James Larimer.
Luke Tanner Arnold.
Jessica Marie Ladon.
Kira Lynn Rose Augustine.
Jason Patrick Lee.
Giuliano Antonio Avolio.
Barrett Parker Leone.
Scott Emerson Baker.
Drew Russell Lewandowski.
Themistocles Demetrius Beloris.
Jackson Kenneth Lewis.
Arushi Bandy.
Christopher Joseph Lakudis.
Allison Catherine Barron.
Emily Noel Lynn.
Margaret Rose Baring.
Brady Elijah Lochner.
Peter Douglas Barriger.
Colleen Marie Lau.
Caitlin Marie Bennett.
Evan Michael Llewellyn.
Brian Russell Berthold.
Sion Moss McCagno.
Taylor Lorraine Bozar.
Jacob Paul Magai.
Megan Patricia Bay.
Gregory Patrick Malakar.
Joseph James Bullock Jr.
Casey Hunter Mann.
Lauren Catherine Bond.
Jordan Scott Margolin.
Elliot Ijanor Boudreau.
Kristen Elizabeth Martin.
Emily Joy Bovan.
Joseph Robert Maddie.
Ross Joseph Bauer.
Lauren McAllister.
Kiana C. Bruner.
Jamie Marie McAvoy.
Skyla Ray Bruno.
Allison Ray McGregor.
Austin Robert Breyer.
Caitlin Nicole McGuire.
Garrett Philip Burnham.
Sean McPeak.
Caitlin LaRue Burns.
Lauren Rose McSwiggan.
Wyatt Michael Burnside.
Brian Nicole McWhirter.
Samantha Marie Bazinski.
Jessica Olivia Means.
Caitlin Marie Byerly.
Jesse Lyle Robert Meckler.
Rachel Evelyn Shea Byrne.
Alexa Nicole Mellis.
Grant Riley Kerrigan.
John Anthony Michael.
Claire Catherine Casanova.
Fontana Maria Macucci.
Christopher Adam Cato.
Miranda Jane Midgley.
Carolina Celadon.
Kristen Jane Miller.
Jennifer Rose Cellarini.
Summer Catherine Nicole Miller.
Connor Jared Chadwick.
Charles Lewis Misbach.
Rachel Chang.
Emily Lynn Mitchum.
Mally Luis Kyoto.
Caleb Parker Malacher.
Valen Cage Krostowski.
Megan Lynn Monfredi.
Christine Marie Shiraka.
Natalie Rose Mongilio.
Elena Marcelo Siopa.
Nicholas Fred Montanari.
Calvin John Cerencione.
Alec Martin Muchnock.
Jonathan Owen Clive.
Elena Noel Mueller.
Sean Richard Colosimo.
Courtney Ann Murphy.
Mary Therese Connell.
Hannah Elizabeth Muth.
Hannah Carolyn Conway.
Ashley Lauren Nadalik.
Bailey Alexander Kaur.
Robert Christopher Netchai.
Emily Sophia Catrill.
Jacob Scott Neal.
Kirsten Sophia Kaup.
Andrew Thomas Neverett.
Christian David Cromer.
Hector Tassien Nyanzagira.
Casey Marina Kroner.
Sophia Christine Knoll.
Connor Carlisle Krosky.
Caitlin Marie Norris.
Connor Matthew Sunick.
Nicholas Richard Naskezi.
Tyler John Dahlkemper.
Neiman Joseph Novitsky.
Sarah Ann Dawson.
Savannah Rose Knoll.
Olivia Ann DeFosia.
Gavin Francis O'Connor.
Allison Rose DeMarco.
Ryan Riccio Okuda.
Matthew Peter Demas.
Olivia Rosalie Palmieri.
Mitchell Adam Demas.
Gina Marie Pantano.
Gianna Rose DeTemple.
Joshua Pantanovitz.
Zachary David DeTemple.
Samantha Rose Pavlicic.
Maxwell James Deviney.
Jacob Conrad Pedersen.
Logan Michael DeWitt.
Luke Edward Pedersen.
Matthew Eric D.
Alexis Kayla Penitzer.
Jenna Yvonne DiNapoli.
Andrew Clayton Perenick.
Robert Randy DePasquale.
Andrew A. Petcash.
Joseph Anthony DiTullio.
Cole Edward Peterson.
Jane Catherine Dolan.
Jillian Claire Pitts.
Luke William Donnelly.
Hannah Rochelle Poland.
Daniel James Doherty.
Melanie Nicole Ramser.
Tanner Ryan Douglas.
Zachary Lee Randolph.
Luke Quentin Dresmich.
Destiny Rose Raymer.
Kayla Vera Duffy.
Jacob Allen Reschenberg.
Max H. Dool.
Matthew Stephen Reschenberg.
Paige S. Dool.
Andrew James Reich.
Joseph Ryan Duran III.
Brittany Maria Reinert.
Christian Scott Denny.
James Paul Remo.
Samantha Lynn Jelski.
Savannah Bree Renner.
Patrick Reed Eastburn.
Alyssa Stella Reidener.
Amanda Catherine Ebner.
Cassandra Marie Roller.
Beatrice Hogan Edgid.
Michaela Lynn Romeo.
Elijah Hogan Edgid.
Rachel Eve Rosenbaum.
Emily Elizabeth Erickson.
Trevor Allen James Russell.
Logan Marshall Elkin.
Alexander John Salas.
Jacob Thomas Engel.
Camden Daniel Sarver.
Sarah Jane Enos.
Shannon Patrice Schaefer.
Juliette Michelle Ivanko.
Brendan Michael Scheller.
Madison Ray Fabian.
Robert James Shearer Jr.
George Nicola Fadul.
Michael Joseph Schlegel.
David Andrew Fassler.
Shalinda Ami Schleicher.
Anna Claire Ferguson.
Evan T. Schleicher.
Madison Marie Field.
Hannah K. Schmidt.
Maya Abigail Fitzgerald.
Ryan Richard Schonbachler.
Daniel Gregory Fitzpatrick.
Alec J. Schwaka.
Brenna Lee Flynn.
Ryan Anthony Scott.
Tessa Danielle Franchi.
Sydney Paige Scullion.
Abigail Mattis Franks.
Jeremy Tyler Serafini.
Benjamin Thomas Frazier.
Taylor Robert Charlo.
Terrence A. Fry.
Kylie Ray Shebeck.
Clayton Matthew Friday.
Jacqueline Shepard.
Cassidy Nicole Furge.
Austin Paul Schick.
Andrew James Gaffey.
Nicholas Norman Scheidler.
Morgan Ashley Galuska.
Sarah Michelle Schreiber.
Jared Lee Gatto.
Alexis Elizabeth Simon.
Amanda Elizabeth Gelly.
Isaac Carl Smelser.
Gwendolyn Rose George.
Jacob William Smelser.
Emily Taylor Gerst.
Adam Michael Smiley.
Nicholas Richard Geyer.
Julia Shade Solomon.
Leanne Carol Gillespie.
Colin Stanish.
Manon Elizabeth Gilpatrick.
Allison Rose Starsenik.
Caitlin Marie Gertler.
Daniel Jeffrey Starr.
Alan Michael Getz.
Kelly Ann Starr.
McKinley Charles Gruber.
Benjamin Richard Stauffer.
Jackson Christopher Guido.
Shane Tyler Steck.
Mitchell Edward Hagan.
Peyton Bryn Steinkirchner.
Gavin Thomas Hall.
Jason David Steranko.
Lauren Elizabeth Hampson.
Stephanie Lynn Stevens.
Thomas Baldwin Hanulak.
Noah William Stewart.
Maxim Reed Harpelani.
Nathaniel Scott Stuyvesant.
Nicholas John Hawkins.
Natalie Katerina Strobel.
Marshall D. Hayden.
Natalie Patricia Strobel.
Olivia Faye Hayes.
Grant Baldwin Swan.
Bailey Cassidy Heaton.
April Rose Swachik.
Mitchell Donald Heckman.
Brett Austin Switala.
Adam G. Heater.
Sydney Elizabeth Swager.
Alexander Douglas Hine.
Gregory Sullivan Samansky.
Alexander Paul Hine.
Anthony John Zafransky.
Talon Cole Hendrickson.
Nicole Marie Zafransky.
Jordan Elizabeth Hepler.
Haley Mary Zelansky.
Danielle Kylie Hobbins.
Hannah Marie Zelong.
Cameron John Holochak.
Elio Tanis.
Brianna Marie Horrell.
Masaki Tete.
Emily Rose Rock.
Frankie Nicole Tierno.
Mary Colleen Humphrey.
Lance Michael Todorowski.
David Mina Ibrahim.
Ian Michael Toogood.
Manuel Alejandro Isaac.
Carlo Anthony Tozzi.
Ingrida K. Ivaska.
Joshua Thomas Trant.
Siddhanth S. Iyer.
Hunter Noah Treese.
Rachel Elizabeth Jarman.
Jean-Marie Elizabeth Trichel.
Mackenzie Ann Jenkins.
Daniel Jesse Trumbola.
Bradley Edward Johnson.
Victoria Olivia Trott.
Evan Christopher Junkel.
Owen James Tyndall.
Amanda Lee Kalin.
Jacob Daniel Urin.
Alexander David Campus.
Cassidy Jean Ulanowitz.
Maxwell Allen Kadich.
Sydney Madison Upright.
Samantha Elizabeth Kadich.
Yonda Van Dyke.
Ronald D. Kearns.
Michael James Veltri.
Emma Joy Kiley.
Michael Lane Varenik.
Martin Michael Kenny III.
Samuel Patrick Vidick.
Madeline Rose Kessie.
Isabel Marie Villela.
Hyun Young Kim.
Benjamin Michael Vinarski.
Sean McKinley Kirkpatrick.
Alyssa Joy Varana.
Charles J. Klein.
Emily Catherine Wechter.
Ryan August Nightinger.
John Daniel Wagner.
Nicole Marie Cordenbrock.
Michael Arthur Wallace.
Brendan M. Kavalson.
Alexa Marie Wardoclip.
Rachel Lynn Cavalli.
Mark Daniel Wiedemann.
Christopher S. Kozik.
David Robert Wiggin.
Jonah Penn Kraus.
Rachel E. Weinberg.
Taylor Christopher Krebs.
Cameron Patrick Welker. Haley Marie West. Kyle David Whittingham. Paige Nicole Wilzinski. Caitlin Whitehurst Will. Hannah Elizabeth Wajner. Emily Joan Wright. Elizabeth Reed Weimerd. Jacob Philip Zach. Tanner Jacob Zhang. Ronald Joseph Zavasky. Thomas Edward Zabinski. Jacob Allen Zentner. Luke John Ziegler. Alana Raquel Zimmer.
Student Government Executive President, Abigail Grace Hinson. Student Government Executive Vice President, Hunter Anderson Baxter. Student Government Executive Secretary, Alexa Marguerite Chavera. Student Government Executive Treasurer, Richard Young-hun Kwan. Class President, Ellis Madison Fritz. Class Vice President, Caitlin Elizabeth Durando. Class Secretary, Audrey Elizabeth Nye. School Climate Chair, Nolan Michael Rosh. School Social Chair, Melissa Marie Zentz. Class Tertiary, Amanda Rose Labuda. Salutatorian, Kendall Elizabeth Pomerlow. And Class Treasurer, Valedictorian, and the 6,744th graduate of Pine-Richland High School, Joseph Patrick Mullen.
Let's give one more round of applause to the class of 2017. At this time, please help me to welcome our Student Government Executive President, Ms. Abby Hinson, for her farewell address.
Thanks, Mrs. Bowman. My fellow classmates, congratulations. We made it. Looking back, it seems like freshman year was a lifetime ago. Walking through the doors of PRHS for the first time, we had no idea what to expect. We didn't know the friends we would meet, memories we would make, WPIAL championships we would win, teachers we would grow to call our mentors, and most importantly, the unity that would emerge within the class of 2017. We are all gathered here today to celebrate us, our successes, our failures, our wins, our losses, our highs and our lows of high school. We all worked hard to get to where we are today, but we didn't do it alone. We owe a huge debt of gratitude to the following people. To our parents and guardians, thank you for your endless love and support and for shaping us into the individuals that we are today. You were always there for us, whether it was helping us with simple spelling words when we were younger, attempting to understand derivatives and integrals, or helping us decide on our plans for next year. You attended our sporting events, came to our plays and musicals, and chaperoned our dances. These are just a few of the hundreds of ways you've supported us on our journey, and we thank you for being there every step of the way. To our teachers, thank you for so selflessly sharing your time, energy, and knowledge with us. Thank you for not only doing what was required of your job, but for going above and beyond. Your passion for teaching and for your students has been so evident in the way that you not only taught us the subject, but more so taught us life lessons that we will carry with us for years to come. For instance, I've been waiting for Mr. Duggar and Mr. McCurdy's big life talk since I was a freshman, and it was so worth the wait. We will take what we have learned from you all and apply it to our lives in college and beyond. Teachers of Pine-Richland, thank you for guiding us through our education as well as teaching us to become better people. To our guidance staff, thank you for always being our advocates and for being people who we could trust throughout our high school careers. We appreciate everything you have done for us to get us to this point. And last but not least, to Mrs. Bowman, Mrs. Burns, Mr. Silbaugh, and administration. Thank you for creating such a positive and welcoming environment for us these past 4 years. Mrs. Bowman, you came to Pine-Richland our sophomore year, and you completely took on the role with ease. You were Pine-Richland's biggest cheerleader, especially when you dressed up in the Rams mascot suit for the pep rally. As an officer for student government, I have come to you with some crazy ideas in the past, but you listened to every single one and at least attempted to act like they could work. Pine-Richland would not be the successful school district it is today without our wonderful administration. At this time, I would like to pass on this gavel to the 2018 Student Body President, Reese Roche. I know he will do a great job in continuing tradition of excellence and in making PR great. No matter what clubs you were in, what sports you played, or what classes you took these past 4 years, we all have one thing in common. We are the Pine-Richland High School class of 2017. As I look out at all of you today, I know this will probably be the last time we're together as a class, but I will remember each one of you so fondly in our next stage of life. I am forever grateful for the friendships I have made at Pine-Richland, and I wish you all nothing but the best. Whatever we do and wherever we go, may we always carry our PR pride with us. Thank you and congratulations, graduates. Mrs. Bowman, please join me at the podium.
Thank you, Abby. And at this time, I am proud to declare the seniors of the class of 2017 as graduates of Pine-Richland High School.
Class of 2017, please join me in moving your tassels from right to left, signifying our graduation from Pine-Richland High School.
Thank you so much for being here this evening to celebrate our students. This concludes our ceremony. Congratulations.